everybody, it's Corey and Denise with Does Size Matter, and I can't wait to show you what I have found today. We are in College Station, Texas, and watch this. It is so cold, I feel like I'm back in Canada, but I saw this and I needed to film it and show it to you guys. Check this out. Okay, I'm so cold, but we gotta go check this out. This is a vintage Airstream, and I think it's a big one, but it has lots of the original features on it, right? Like you know this awning is gonna be awesome. Come on. But it's had lots of upgrades. I'll tell you more about that. Come on, let's check out this side. I know all of you out there that love these vintage trailers as much as I do. Can't wait to see the whole thing. So let's go knock on the door. Come on.
Hi guys.
Hey, look at who we found. This is Will from Trailer Trash, and he knows how to take a vintage Airstream and turn it into your dream stream. Can you come out and tell us about your project here that you've done so much?
Absolutely, I'd love to. So this is our 1985 Airstream Sovereign. It's a 34-foot triple axle, lots of tires. We acquired this from a gentleman in the Hill Country, and he had the idea of making it a project home for his teenage daughters. He got it shipped in from Pennsylvania and took a look at it and said, nope. No, this is too much work for me. So we got a really good deal on it, but it was in dire need of repair on the inside. The reason why I was drawn to this particular trailer is the outside was in amazing condition for a vintage trailer. We don't have many imperfections or dings, and the aluminum is actually in great shape. It hasn't really oxidized. There's a little bit on the roof if you get up there, but the oxidation hasn't really worked its way down yet. So the exterior was beautiful. And the interior is something that we really know how to handle, so we said this was a good project trailer.
So any of these kinds of imperfections and changes that need to be made, you and Trailer Trashin' can fix up.
Yes.
You got the means to get to the people.
Yes, we have all the riveting equipment to do the exterior work. Any panel or door can be acquired online. There's a lot of great sites. Vintage Airstream Supply, airstreamsupply.com. So you can get the parts. Now they're a little bit pricey for vintage because they have to recreate them and get them, but yes, you know, everything you can find. The running lights we actually replace with LEDs, so we try to make even the outside brighter and more efficient on the power.
So you're trying to keep it vintage but still lift it up to today's level? Gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No one wants the power draws of those vintage trailers.
Right.
Everyone wants a really efficient, can run off solar if they need to. Modern trailer, and so it's best of both worlds really, because the infrastructure's there to bring them up to date. You just got to kind of get your hands dirty.
Right. You've got some before shots that we'll be able to show everybody, right?
Yes.
But when you got this, you did have to put work into the tires. Did you have to do anything to the frame? And
so underneath there was some slight belly pan sagging, and it's just the rivets will wear down, or the aluminum will wear out and kind of pop down, so you get a little bit of sagging. So we took some rivets and went back underneath the frame and found those ribs, and we secured it back up. So that was a minor job, it wasn't a lot. With any vintage trailer, especially with an owner who purchased it short term, you don't know the person who owned it longer before.
Right.
You don't know the shape of the bearings or the axles. So the axles are actually in good shape, but the bearings, I recommend always replacing them or repacking them. They're what the tire will rotate on, and so if you get on the road and you blow one of those out, you're gonna have a big problem.
Right.
So we actually ordered all new bearings because we were about to do a trip to California, and we just wanted kind of err on the side of let's get that taken care of.
Right.
Now the tires for a triple axle, you have to get 6 plus a spare.
That's not cheap
so
either,
that was expensive. So we put about $1,200 into tires, but that is also an investment and yourself, really, and making sure that you're safe on the road.
That's right.
The only thing that I have left to do is I'd like to replace the shocks.
Okay.
Now the shocks on these torsion axles for these Airstreams, the way the torsion axles work, the shocks kind of help, but some people I've heard remove them. I don't recommend that, but they're not a like critical component.
Okay.
So I want to replace them just so they look nicer, really.
Right.
More than anything.
So the windows on here are all original, is that right?
All original, and we're in great shape. We've seen them with shattered windows before. We had no issue there, and they're actually tempered and tinted. So for the sun, especially here in Texas, that helps out dramatically. And as you'll see when we go inside, it doesn't really affect the light coming in. It's really bright. And it's gonna be hard to see on this day.
Right.
But,
this cold
day. But the windows were another drawing point. Everything on the exterior was a drawing point for us.
Right. Well, you can't beat Airstream windows.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And I'm glad that we didn't have to replace them because the curves on them and they're custom ordered.
Right.
And so yeah, it's always nice to avoid that.
Your awning then?
Yes. All original.
All original awnings. How cool is
yes,
that?
And except for the front wraparound windows, every window has an awning over it. So this one covers, the span of this side, and then we have these smaller ones for the rear that pull out.
Oh.
And they're super easy. You don't have to. You just secure them on the latch, and then you're ready to roll. They just go right back in. So the back three have that, and then there's a smaller awning. It's about 3 feet wide that pulls out over the rear windows.
So is this as big as Airstream goes?
Yes.
Wow.
In fact, so this is 34 foot. The modern ones you see them max out at about 33 feet. And so I don't know when they chop that last foot off, but
right.
yeah, 34 foot's the longest they make. And they intended for these to be more used for home instead of travel.
Yeah.
But in the 80s, they didn't put the washer dryer, washing machine in it. So it's still pretty much...
and even today, you still don't see an Airstream with a slide on it or anything like that. They've really stayed true to their style.
Yeah, they have.
Let's take a look around the front.
Perfect.
So I'm always interested in these window guards and the front pieces that they put on Airstreams. So do they all have that?
Not all of them have it. They started putting them on most of them. And they're an amazing idea because after every time we take it on the road, we'll find a chip or something these can be replaced easily. They just kind of snap out and you're not losing a window in the process. We had another 1985 Airstream where they didn't have these metal guards down low, but they did like a truck bed liner on the front.
Oh, okay, just to protect it.
Yeah, so that's something that the owner had put in as a guard for the aluminum. So these are, I think they're standard now.
Yeah.
As they should be.
And what about your jack? You got an electric jack?
Yes.
So that wasn't original?
No.
Right.
No, yeah. So you pull into an RV park late or you're boondocking, and the last thing you want to do is hand crank up your jack.
Like they used to, remember?
Yes, like you used to. I put an electric jack on everything, and these things are a lifesaver. I mean, just one button up and down, even has lights on the outside, and we've never had a power drain on our battery. We keep them sufficiently charged, and so these things are amazing to have.
Do you guys have solar on this?
We don't have solar.
You could put it though.
Yes, we can. Also, I got new tanks on the propane system.
Okay. Did you have to do any real work to the propane system?
I had to replace some stretches of copper tubing around the fridge and around the water heater on the outside. There was a leak. We kept draining our tank right away, and we were like, where's this coming from? And I took the spray bottle and went down every line, and then we found that there was a connection that there was a gas leak. So that was a pretty easy switch. Okay. So yeah, and these old Airstreams, especially ones any farther than Texas north, so Oklahoma, anywhere, they hit those winter colds, and their copper pipes will crack. And so you do see quite a bit of copper issues in the original trailers.
So you're on the lookout for those when you get one.
Oh yes, oh yes, and especially this one came from Pennsylvania, so it's not too surprising that happened.
So the good thing about working with Trailer Trash then is their taking care of all those things and looking for all those spots that could be problems for you into the future. It's nice to have someone knowledgeable.
Yes.
I would have never thought.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And on intake of a trailer, the first thing before you do anything on the inside is make sure it's sealed and your systems are working, and that's propane, electrical, water. You got to take care of those before you can even think about making it look better.
Right. This is the messy stuff.
Oh, the messy stuff. Yes.
But it's all part of RVing, no matter whether in a new rig or a vintage rig.
Yes.
You still gotta drain the poop.
Yes.
So, what did you have to do to make this system work?
So both the gray water and the black water had a leaking gate valve, and so we had to lift the rear end up, and I got in there and replaced the gate valve. I thought this is a bad story, I thought I had sufficiently drained the black water, and when I was on my back, I popped that compression ring off, and I got a beard full of yesterday's food. And so after I got done taking a 9-hour shower, I got back to it and we replaced the valves. And then I like to put these Volterra valves on the end, so you get your 2 gate valves and then you get a 3rd gate valve at the very end, just to make sure that you're really containing everything.
So by having that 3rd valve, you could actually combine the capacity of your tanks in a boondocking situation.
Absolutely,
because
yeah.
often you don't use your full black capacity.
Oh yeah, you can pull your gray and your black water valves open, leave that one shut, and they will equalize the water in the tanks. It's a great boondocking tip. Yeah. The other good thing about this Volterra cap is that you can open up this cap here, and any sort of buildup that does make it past the last valve, you can drain out controlled manner before you open your valve. So that's nice.
Okay.
So you did have to do some work to some of the systems, like the water heater, right?
Yes, I totally replaced the water heater, and it's mainly because the starter on these wears out over time, and I was flipping the switch 10 times before I'd get the spark to really catch on. And so, these are affordable at around $400, and it's a gas system item, so I like to replace those. So I replaced this completely, and it's a 6-gallon water heater, but it's so efficient at heating up the water that we've never run out of water taking back-to-back showers.
Wow!
Yes.
That's great.
So we've gone over the outside, but it's cold out here, and I'd love to show y'all what we've done on the inside.
And I want to be warm.
So come on
you
in.
Got the heater going?
Oh yes,
Yay.
absolutely. All right.
Wow. Look at this place.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. This is just a home.
Yes, a labor of love for sure.
You guys have done a fantastic job on this. And look at those windows, everybody. You gotta love an Airstream, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's one of the things that drew me to it, was all the light that came in. Even when there was stuff everywhere on the floor and everything was ripped out, just had that beautiful light coming in.
Right. Wow, I gotta sit down. This couch is amazing, and I love the colors.
Thank you.
So what else did you do in here?
So behind the couch, we installed a PowerMax 100-watt converter to keep the batteries charged when we're hooked up to shore power.
Okay.
And then to monitor the output of the battery, we put a battery monitor.
Okay.
And that just kind of gives us kind of how many amps are we drawing. Is the main thing that I look at, just to know if I'm, putting a lot of stress on the batteries.
Right.
The other thing is we replaced the head unit up here. It had an 8-track.
Ah, yes, of course it had an 8-track. How cool is that?
Yes.
So these are original Airstream cabinets, right?
Yes. Still work. We like them. They get stuck a little bit sometimes, but that's just kind of what you get with the vintage.
Right. And this is where you're looking at your tanks?
Yes, the control center, or the monitor system.
Right.
And yeah, it all still works. It tells you your battery condition, freshwater tank levels.
Right.
Auxiliary main tank. But we love the look. We try to keep things as original, but update what we can.
Yeah. And when you're renovating an Airstream, only so much of that original stuff is going to be good enough to use, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, you guys put new curtains in?
Yes.
These are beautiful.
Thank you very much. These are custom-made red oak valances, stained walnut. We routed the edges, and I attached them to the skins, and they've held up great over time. Even though they're a little bit heavier, they've held up amazingly well.
So I guess that's a good question. Do you know what the trailer weighs?
The closest estimate we have is about 7,500 pounds.
Okay.
So even for being a 34-foot, fully loaded trailer, they're still super light and really aerodynamic. And so I'm actually pulling it, somebody's going to laugh out there, but with a half-ton Toyota Tundra. And we pulled it all the way to California and back over mountains, and I've never had any problems.
Awesome.
With the 6 brakes on the tires, it's always slowed down before the truck feels it. So yeah, these things are very towable.
Right.
Good on the road.
And they are meant to be lighter weight, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you guys you painted?
Yes. So the interior skin condition was it was rough. So we had to go through, sand everything down, degrease it, and then we primed it with Kills Bonding Primer, which we use on everything now because it makes the most incredible bond with any surface. And then we go back over it with just a Behr Premium Ultra paint that Britt will find the color she likes, and then I'll put it on.
Right.
Yeah.
Britt's Will's wife,
yes,
who isn't with us today, but she does a lot of the design components and sets it up to do this beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, she tells me what to do and I do it, but she's the brain behind all this.
Like, so she picked out this gorgeous vintage couch.
Yes. Well, I say she's a great designer, but she picked this couch solely out the first time because the name of it is Brittany.
Oh.
And it's by the Novogratz company. She said, "I want that."
That's the one.
So these actually fit perfectly, and they roll out or fold out to a futon.
Oh, it does.
Yes, yeah. These backs.
So this is another bed. Check that out, everybody.
And it even has a leg that unzips from the back, and so it's up against the battery box right now. But if we pull it out a little bit, it folds completely flat.
Right.
Yes.
Excellent. So you've managed to maintain extra sleeping quarters in here.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You clearly had to put in a whole new flooring material in here, right?
Yes. We put in vinyl plank from Shaw Floors. It's the Alto Plus plank flooring, and we sourced it online for about $700 cheaper than our local decorating store quoted us. And I mean, these are amazing boards. You can just click them together. They're water and temperature resistant.
Wow.
So it's perfect for trailers. If you drag mud in here, you don't have to worry about it. We have 3 dogs, and we don't have to worry about them scratching it or really any damage happening to it. So
excellent.
Yeah.
And then what about like a subfloor or anything underneath?
So these particular boards have a backing to them. But since we've done flooring in our own home and we had a lot of underlayment left over, we went ahead and used it. And we actually really like the underlayment under the boards themselves between the subfloor. It gives a little bit more moisture barrier and just like comfort in the way they feel when you're walking on them.
Right.
So yeah, I recommend them even if they have the backing themselves.
Sure. So just another good reason to have someone knowledgeable help you out with this kind of stuff. I would have never figured out how to save that much money on flooring.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
So you were able to keep some of these cabinet doors, correct? And you did a lot of work.
Oh yes. Yeah, they were it was a more maple tone on the wood. And it was sealed, and one of the styles Brittany really wanted in this trailer was tropical with contrasting woods. Yes, this is the pattern that we based all the color scheme off of.
And it works really well.
Thank you. Yeah.
So you guys must have put in this TV too. Like it wouldn't have originally had a TV.
No. It had a 12 volt and power source, which that's how they used to power the TVs back in the day, was with those 12 volt plugins.
Okay.
If they did have them, but we ran coaxial. We ran an exterior coaxial against the back here, and then the original antenna actually did have a drop point back there.
Okay.
And but the antenna has since deteriorated. But yes, we just suspended it with a mount, and we went with the white TV. Just kind of blend in. Yeah. They're kind of hard to find, but
new sink and new taps. Just how much plumbing did you actually have to do on this?
Only a little bit, actually. The plastic, it wasn't PEX at the time, but it was what led into PEX is actually all intact, and there were no leaks. So the plumbing situation was in good shape. We've previously on another renovation had to replace everything with PEX, just because the copper piping had ruptured from the freeze thaws.
Right.
So yeah, no, we were really lucky with this trailer. So the plumbing was in good shape. But yes, the counters were original. We put new IKEA counters on top. She found this on Amazon, the sink. I think it's a 22 by 18 top mount sink. She found the hardware on Amazon as well. And we kept the original burner and oven combination. We don't use the oven at all, but we use the burner all the time. And so I checked it for leaks. We refinished the surface of it and got it back into fighting shape, and it's been great.
So let's take a look at this, because probably in the original floor plan, this would have been a dinette.
Yes, it was. It was a single seat dinette with a table that dropped down to a little bed.
Okay, yeah.
For a very lucky dog or some kids. Yeah, it was very small. It was actually, the decision was made prior to us even getting it. The dinette had been taken out.
Oh, okay.
So this was an empty space, and it actually extended all the way past the fridge. And so we decided once we put these walls back in to put a desk, because there's these big, beautiful windows.
Yeah.
And we wanted to kind of be able to work on our computers and just see what we were being inspired by, wherever we were.
Even eating dinner, what a view, right?
It's amazing, and it doubles as just extra counter space from our kitchen. So much extra table space. It's amazing.
Excellent.
She got these chairs off of IKEA, actually, and the teal was the perfect color to match kind of the decor that she was going for.
And the style too,
yes,
right? Like it just adds that modern kind of feel to this beautiful vintage trailer.
Yeah.
And again, you went with these curtains.
Mm-hmm.
And did you not put some special lighting in?
I did. So when we put in, when we had to do this build out for the fridge, I had access to the electrical behind. So I put in an LED light strip on this valance in particular, so we had desk lighting, and I put it on a dimmer, so that at night you could adjust your light and
when you have the wine bottle out and the lighting goes down, we never do that.
It's all about mood lighting. Yes.
Okay, so now this looks like a brand spanking new fridge.
Yes. As I mentioned, the fridge when we got it, the original was on the floor on its side, and we did not feel comfortable using that again.
Right.
And even if it was in place, the original fridges I think should be replaced. Mm-hmm. I think they're the #1 source of RV fires.
Actually, I've heard that.
Yeah. And so we try to minimize risk on these vintage renovations. So we definitely got a new Dometic. It's 6 cubic feet, and so it's more than enough for us. And I think the sticker price on this was $1,150, shipped freight to our doorstep.
They're not, I don't know, they're not inexpensive.
No.
We put one in our houseboat, I don't know, 7-8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it cost that much. Like, they just are expensive.
Yeah, well, they're ammonia based, and it's the way that the technology works with them, that they can run off propane or electrical.
Right.
It just needs an enclosed system that makes it way need to be reinforced, and that's what bumps the price up on these. So
I guess you guys have done this enough times, you know where to source these kinds of things out and get the best price that you can, right?
Yes, we actually really like RV Parts Country for the big appliances. They're an online shop. I'm not sure if they're Sticks and Bricks. There's not a shop around here, but online they definitely have really good prices for these, and variety, since pretty much every Airstream or RV has a different size and shape. So
right. So before we go down further, you've got a pretty spanky new air conditioner in here too.
Absolutely. Yes. So you can't tell today, but Texas gets pretty hot.
I'm missing it.
Yes. And since this is a 34-foot trailer, they had a 13.5 thousand BTU air conditioner that was struggling really bad. So we put a 15,000 K BTU unit in, and it does a pretty good job of keeping this front half cool.
Right.
I have plans to install a second AC unit where our Fantastic Vent is in the back, so I would recommend a second one. But yes, this thing is actually really powerful, and would any shorter Airstream, this could cool them down
Right.
perfectly
Is that
fine.
a pretty expensive item too?
I think we paid $663 on Amazon for it shipped, free
Okay.
shipping. So no, they go higher in price, but this was actually a very reasonably priced unit.
And that's a Dometic as well.
Dometic.
Right. Okay. So let's move back a bit. Oh, so you got a privacy curtain.
Yes, 2 of them.
Nice. Okay, right. So one of the bedroom and one
Yes.
here. So as we're moving down, I'm noticing this is really where all the kitchen storage would have been. What was here?
There was an original microwave here, and it was not working. So once we removed it and we saw that this space was actually framed out and very nice, we decided to keep it because we weren't going to use the microwave as a power draw anyway. So we left it open, and all I did was put a false bottom in the top of this, or at the bottom of this cabinet here, and ran electrical to put a light in here. So we put a light in. Yes, the other storage, this is the predominant storage area. It also has 3 drawers here, kind of a taller item, so for your cutting boards, and we actually keep our fire extinguisher in there as well. And that goes all the way back. And then we have some floor storage, and these aren't framed out. This goes all the way to the back of the fridge. And this, you can see the subfloor, and it goes all the way to the wheel well. But there's quite a bit of storage if you can get creative with it. And then, now in the kitchen, we also have an additional storage. We have some smaller room under the oven, and then another one of these tall doors where I keep my footballs for the RV parks or when we're boondocking. We have our silverware drawer and everyone has a junk drawer. This is ours right here.
And those are original Airstream drawers, aren't they?
Oh yeah, we kept them. They actually work great. There's not a flaw
Sure.
on them. And so we kept that as well. Okay. And then under the sink here, we have kind of the rest of it spill over. We have our cleaning supplies and my electric coffee maker when we're hooked up to shore power.
Nice. That's a lot of storage, really.
Yes, not bad.
So what is this, Will?
So I forgot to mention it, and we actually didn't even see this for the first few weeks we owned it.
Oh.
But there is a cutting board that slides out in front of the microwave, so you could have set it. But now we just have additional storage
Right.
and cutting board. So this was very cool.
Nice.
And the mechanisms that let it slide in and out are still perfect too. So I guess
Right.
the person before us didn't know it was there either.
So moving on down the hallway, there's a ton of storage here and a bathroom on this side. So take us through this storage.
So this is a wardrobe. It's a 3-door wardrobe that's all open in here. So it's actually quite a bit of room, as you can see. It has a top area for shoes or hats, or that's what I use it for. And then down below has a false bottom that opens up and shows the water pump and some of the electrical hookups. So that's where we access all of that.
And that's a full 3 doors wide. Right?
Yes,
We're only looking
yes.
at a couple.
So I get this one, and my wife gets these 2.
That's not bad.
Not bad split. So on this side of the Airstream, we have a 3-piece bathroom. It's got the shower, sink, and toilet.
It matches perfectly.
Yes, you're in the
And this
rainforest every night when you get a shower.
This is a pretty big shower, really, right? It's got a seat. I can sit in here. This is pretty spacious. I mean, it's a small bathroom, but you can do a lot in a small space, right? So any new plumbing that you had to do in here?
No, actually, we just hooked up the vessel sink under the vanity. We just did an extra long drain to make up for the space. New faucet hardware. The toilet and the black water tank were in great shape. The fixture that holds to the floor, the flange.
And this is an original vanity?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
it looks it. So there must have been some original cabinetry in here.
Yes, there was an upper with a glass panel that would swing out right into your face. So we took it out wanting to fix it up. And once we removed it from the space, we actually liked the feel better in the bathroom. So we left it out and just wired into 2 little lights that brighten up the space very nicely. We left the medicine cabinet as our main storage
Right.
area. Yes, we frosted the window out, and it was just a peel and stick frosting application that we got from Amazon, And it was an amazing solution because anything we put back into the space is just going to crowd the overall feel of
Right.
it. So we didn't want a window treatment. So the frosting out was the next best option, where we were able to get that privacy without ruining the aesthetic.
Right. We still have the vintage feel. You've got the vintage window, in the cabinetry, but yet you put in all these modern things, including plug-ins for my hair dryer and all of that kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
So this is a 30 amp connection.
30 amp connection. All right, so moving back into the bedroom, I want to go over a few things we did back here. So you can still kind of see there were rear twins that the space originally had, and you could walk all the way to a nightstand in the middle. We framed over the 2 bed platforms and squeezed the king size mattress in here. At that point, we framed in to square the bed off so it's nested right in the middle of the space. You can put your phones, you can put, your night glasses down or whatever you have. So that's nice too, so you're not going to lose everything on the extra space on the curves. We also installed, and you'll see it in a minute, a 32-inch TV, which we never use, but it's there. We took down one of the uppers. We left these 2, and we just put the red oak balances back in their place. And then the last thing I did was install a fantastic vent to kind of keep some airflow going in the back, because as I mentioned, the AC works great up at the front, but some of that air gets lost by the time it gets back here. So it's harder to cool it down back here, but I have plans to replace this this passage, this 14 by 14 inch space, with another AC unit.
I gotta test this out. Wow. This is spacious. And you know that I'm not really big on TVs, but this is really comfortable, and I could work back here. I could watch TV. These windows give you so much light. I love it. And we all know how I feel about having a nightstand. I got my water, I got my book, I got my phone. That's great. Yet you've still got the original cabinets up here and here. Like, these are actually built right into the trailer itself. Like, that's the way it was meant to be. And so, I mean, we've never had a king bed, but this is great. We could sleep diagonally, we can sleep sideways, we could do whatever we want in here. I love this bed. Nice. And I see, Will, you've got is this a thermostat, a new thermostat here?
Yes, we have 2 furnaces, and the second furnace is under the bed, and so that one is controlled by that thermostat right there.
Very cool. New plugins. Like, this is a vintage trailer with some modern flair style and all upgraded systems. Like, I don't know how you get any better. So, Will, I know you do this as your business.
Yes.
I need you to tell us a lot more about the numbers.
Sure.
So, what's a trailer like this going to cost if I want to buy it?
Yes, so we've had a range. This one cost us $10,500 to just get it home. The previous ones we bought, one just happened to be a friend of a friend, so we got a really good deal on it at about like $3,000 or $4,000.
Wow.
For 1971. So it really depends on where you find it and what condition they're in. But if you find a one in decent shape, I would not be afraid to spend $10 to $15 for it.
Okay. If I wanted to buy this trailer off of you next week,
Yes.
how much would I pay you?
Okay. We'd probably list this around $50,000.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's various ways that you could do this. Like, I could go find my own Airstream and bring it to you.
Yes.
Or you could sell me one that you've already worked on.
Yes.
Or you would go find an Airstream and fix it up for me.
We absolutely could.
Okay.
Just through the experience of doing it ourselves so many times, we definitely know what to look for. Through all the repairs that we've done, we know what to avoid.
Right.
And so, yeah, we totally can help acquire the Airstream and then do the renovations.
Does it have to be an Airstream?
No, and that's a great point. So we're partial to Airstreams just because what we love and decide to do with our own personal time and money. But no, we do renovations on all RVs and campers.
Okay. And you know so much about RV systems
Yes.
and what needs to be done or what
Yeah.
can be done. Right. So talk a little more about, say, tank sizes.
Mm-hmm.
What are those numbers?
So in this particular Airstream, it came with the 50-gallon freshwater tank, 30-gallon gray water tank, and 20-gallon black water tank.
It's like, what are the most important spots to spend the money?
The most important spots are getting it watertight and making sure your systems are working. Without that, you really don't have a functional trailer to
Right.
take out. So we always recommend, before we do any sort of aesthetic upgrade, let's make sure that this is road ready, safe, and going to provide the services that you need on the road.
In today's
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Right.
And then I always recommend, my wife's going to kill me, but I say update the electrical. Get yourself some LED lights everywhere. Update your batteries. Make sure that you can monitor them. She'll disagree with me, and she'll say that the couch and the cozy, the nice stuff is more
The pretty
important. But
stuff.
yes.
Right. No, but I see the point. For any of you out there, I'll put in the description links to Trailer Trashion's website so that you guys could ask them and ask questions.
Yes, that's
right?
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Get in touch yourselves. And we'll also put in the description any links to any products that you mentioned
Perfect,
here
yeah.
or things that people might want to take a look at themselves, right?
Perfect. Yeah.
And otherwise, you know, I don't get enough of this vintage stuff, and this is like vintage gone modern that you could really use today. So if you guys liked this video, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, join us. I'm always on the search for another cool one to show you all. So hit the subscribe,